Anxiety and anticipation increased with his arrival in the city on those special days for everyone. Likewise, the good news reached Publius's house through Livia's servant, the faithful and simple Anna, who had informed her mistress of the news and received permission from her to hear his message during those days, staying with her elderly uncle Simeon, who had come from his home in Samaria to Jerusalem, accompanying the apostolic entourage. The internal atmosphere of her home had not undergone significant changes, Livia feeling the distance inexplicably imposed by her husband and keeping to herself the apprehensions that feminine wisdom had learned to manage and endure with the stoicism that had made her the pillar of any family. Pilate was immersed in administrative matters and the dangers that, at that time, arose from all sides, notably because he was the most prestigious foreign representative. If any liberation movement or revolt were to begin in Jerusalem, such an occasion brought together all the elements conducive to ensuring its success, given the immense volume of pilgrims gathered for the religious festivals of their tradition, which jeopardized the defense capacity of even the fortified citadel that held Roman military supremacy in the region. Defensive measures and the containment of the tempers of the Jews themselves, always divided into factions and groups hostile to each other, took up much of the soldiers' time and energy. Numerous patrols roamed the main streets and alleys of Jerusalem during this period, ostensibly seeking to intimidate the most agitated and advise them to peaceful conduct, primarily guided by religious exhortation. By deploying the soldiers on the streets, they were left with a small group of soldiers on standby to be used in the event of a widespread disturbance. However, Pilate was clearly aware that, even though he possessed more powerful weaponry than the Jewish people could afford, the sheer number of fighters on both sides gave the Jews a clear and significant advantage. If they so desired, they could easily launch a conspiracy that they would ultimately defeat, given their greater concentration of men than the military garrison he commanded. In the early years of his rule, he had requested reinforcements from the neighboring province of Syria, fearing that the people would use his inexperience in governing Judea to try to destroy his reputation and strike a blow at the beginning of his administrative career.